Hello, I'm Pam of healingstars.com. This is the chart for the full moon set for London, the 11th of April at 7:08, that's British summertime. And as you can see with the colours, the red, strong red, it's called a T-square, is very potent at this full moon. The moon itself is with Jupiter. Here it is in Libra. The sun, the opposite, always opposite, is in Aries, right next to Uranus. And they're both creating this tension with Pluto in Capricorn. Now, this is an ongoing T-square, it's called, with astrology, but it's also dynamic. Red signals action, something has to happen. First of all, Jupiter and the moon is a beautiful, beautiful sight to see. And if it is a clear night, you hopefully will see that moon next to Jupiter. It's actually right next to a star, a fixed star called Spica, S-P-I-C-A, which is a pearl, like a pearl in the sky, and very, very beautiful. Now, that is a lovely omen, shall we say. The Sun and Uranus together in Aries is dynamic because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's springtime, of course. And the Sun and Uranus will join at the end of the week on the 14th, Good Friday. Now the Sun and Uranus are electric. Uranus is electric, it's lightning, it's unpredictable, it's change, it's revolution. And the Sun and Uranus joining, which it does every single year, will signify some sort of shift occurring on Friday. The energy also is very strong at this full moon of Venus. Venus is retrograde, and here she is in Pisces with Chiron, very close to Chiron, and Venus will go direct, will change direction on the 15th, exactly next to Chiron. Now Pisces is very sensitive, very emotional, and Chiron is all about the wounds, the wounded healer is the archetype. And what's making this really tough is that Venus is at an exact right angle to Saturn. Now Saturn isn't known to be fun-loving. On the contrary, Saturn brings us down to earth. It's very grounded, it's very realistic, practical, but also can create a lot of stumbling blocks in the form of procrastination, fear, feeling heavy. And with Saturn involved with Venus and Chiron, there is a kind of heavy heart at this time. Today in the UK, I'm speaking on the 10th of April, there was a huge funeral for the fallen constable who was murdered recently, and thousands of policemen and women from around the country came to pay their respects. It was very moving just to see those men and women in their uniforms with their heads bowed. I got chicken skin as I saw the images. That's a true hero, someone who gave his life for the nation to protect. Now, you may well be feeling deep emotions that are coming up at this time because Venus and Chiron joined also back in January. If you look at my newsletter, I'll show you the dates. So things can come back to the surface to be healed at this time. Venus will move forward in Pisces, but still is close to Chiron for a couple of weeks yet. Disappointments, love, unrequited love would be a symbol for that. And another astrologer talks about the mermaid and the story of the little mermaid, and that beautiful, compassionate story just touches the heart. And it is about keeping our hearts open at this time to heal those wounds, to heal the disappointments and the disillusionment. Because Jupiter is about joy. And it's always good to notice, traditionally, Jupiter governs Pisces. And there it is, in Venus's sign, with the moon at this full moon. Mars is also just made a very powerful, very positive connection to Pluto, bringing up things from the underworld. If you think of Pluto, god of the underworld, things that are hidden, things that are toxic, and Mars can release those kinds of things. Think of Mars as the surgeon. And it is in Venus's sign. So there's some love around here. Mercury, there's a lot going on. As you can see, there's a lot going on at this full moon. Mercury has just turned retrograde. 4 degrees of Taurus. There it is over here in the coral sector. And we'll go back, and you can see it will go back and it will join Uranus again. Now Mercury and Uranus are very creative, inventive, ideas that just come out of the blue. So tune in to those. Full moons, of course, are always bringing things to light. They're always a time also when the public is out celebrating. So this is Easter coming up in the next few days, with 2 very significant events, that Venus moving forward and the Sun and Uranus together. Keep grounded. That's what Saturn wants always, to keep us based in the here and now. Mars in Taurus is extremely good for going into the garden or just walking barefoot, maybe, if you're in a place where you can do that. Dancing, grounding through dance is another excellent idea. And also, if you are feeling really, really emotional, one advice I give people often is to think, who needs my help? Who's in a worse place than I am at this time? Because as soon as we reach out to help and support someone, we can't think of ourselves. The ego doesn't win. It's also a very good way of working with Saturn. In Vedic astrology, Saturn is very much about being of service to others. So I would encourage you to do that if you are feeling that you may be drowning in the oceans of Pisces at this time. So thank you for watching. Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. And if you read my newsletter, I'll give you lots of different dates. Thank you. Bye-bye.